I've been actually waiting for a very long time for this chapter to come out right now, especially when it's past midnight. Pretty kind of a little upset to see to it that it came out a little bit late, but I should not complain because it just got translated and I could just read the chapter beforehand and talk about it. So anyways, this chapter right here of One Piece's new chapter, which I'm here to give you a recap on, chapter 907, was pretty cool. A lot of crazy revelations, not to mention, if I remember correctly, some things to be set up. So if anything else, let's just get this started. We have to it that at Whole Cake Island, Big Mom is actually talking to Kaido. And of course, Kaido refuses some kind of request from Big Mom, etc. But Big Mom reminds him that he owes her something, like a big debt. Which Kaido goes like, "Look, dude, that's a long time ago." And Big Mom's like, "I don't care. It's a lifelong debt, okay?" And we see to it that Kaido explains to Big Mom that he has a grudge against Straw Hat. I'll kill you if you even dare come to my territory, Lin Lin. Of course, like Big Mom says, haha, feel free to try, but this isn't up for debate. I'm giving you a fair warning. I'll be the one that will take Straw Hat's head. You got it? So let's just get along like the good old days. And we have to it that actually the Marines were actually wiretapping into Big Mom and Kaido's conversation. They go like, she just got into contact with Kaido, and they end up realizing that Big Mom might have a small alliance with Kaido, and they go like, "Oh man, this ain't good. The only people who are able to actually match against the Yonko right now is the Admirals or the Warlords." Now let's not forget, the Admirals are known to be one of the strongest, powerful fighters in the series, and we all know how strong the Admirals are back in Marineford, knowing that they could take on Whitebeard one-on-one for a while now. Aside from that, for me talking about the Admiral's power, Barcelino or Kizaru asked Sakazuki, should I go? But Sakazuki Barcelino, Kizaru, yeah. We have to it that Kizaru asked Sakazuki, hey, should I go over there and handle this right now? But Akainu goes like, no, you should not go right now. We have no idea how strong the Wano country's forces are, those samurai. So it looks like to me Akainu is not really hot-headed, but he's very trying to read the situation as best he can. Because like he said, and everyone else could agree, these guys in the Wano country might be very strong, and we have to be wary of that. We have to it, of course, many of Garp's friends or subordinates go like, hey, yo, Garp, you know those two are going after your grandson, and Garp was just laughing it off. And they go like, this is no laughing matter. Do you understand what happens if 2 of the 4 emperors get together? And Garp's like, hey man, you can worry about all you want, but we're in the middle of the Revere right now. There's no point of all our forces here is to prevent and guard the royalty. That's it. Of course, one of the other Marines go like, yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you guys, but Big Mom's actions are being overlooked, aren't they? What did Director Sakazuki say about the situation? And we have to it that one of the Marines says his exact words were, Wano is not affiliated with the world government, so it's outside of our jurisdiction. And of course, Garp goes like, I knew he said that. But for Garp to even talk about Sakazuki, it seems like he's saying it in a calm, laughing manner. So it looks like to me he does not have much of a grudge against Sakazuki anymore, even though he killed Ace. Let's backtrack that. Anyway, me being off topic, we have to it that Garp says it's best not to interfere him right now. Of course, one of the Marines, I think Hina, says but Garp, speaking of Big Mom and Kaido, etc. Sorry. We have to it that Hina talks about Garp was considered to be the hero of the Marines, but we have to it that someone was talking about something called the Rocks, and apparently even they go like, you're aware of them, aren't you? And of course, there's no doubt that before Roger came, it was their era. So these rocks whatsoever, before Roger came, it was their era. I don't know what these rocks are, but seriously though, these rocks are known to be very strong, possibly because before Roger came in, it was their era. So that just might symbolize like they might show up soon and their power might be very strong. Not to mention it was only 40 years ago, but nevertheless the past is the past. Of course, Hina says like even though they lost their captain, their power is still growing. You understand that? Of course, like Garp says, like there's no use worrying about it. Although it would be a real threat if they were to make a comeback, it'd be an instant too far beyond our imaginations for us to do anything. So it looks like to me this conversation involving something about the rocks is not something to be overlooked right now. I think Oda is setting up that I think there were pirates before Roger came in, and these kinds of pirates, or whatever they're called, the rocks, are very powerful because it was their era, as it says in the conversation. Not to mention, Hina says that their power has been growing even though their captain is dead or gone. So it looks like to me these rocks whatsoever, which I'm telling you guys right now, might have a role to play. Guess we'll have to find out soon. Whatever Oda has in mind, we're going to have to take a look at it. But let's not forget, like right before Raja, it was their era. So that just shows that they're not to be undermined that badly. And their power is still growing even with the captain is gone. But Garp goes like, there's nothing we can even do about right now, even at this time. And if they made a comeback, it'll be a real threat. Keep that in mind. These rocks thing whatsoever, it's going to be very important. Anyways, we have to it that Steli himself, with King Steri of Goa Kingdom, was supposed to make a pledge, and we have to it that he asked, can he sit on that empty throne? They go, no one's allowed to sit on that. Make your pledge you take here that symbolizes that you will not try to take the throne for yourself in greed. And he goes like, what's that throne supposed to be? And we have to it that the guy explains to him that there are 20 weapons that surround the throne as its protection, and they are the symbols of the creators of this world. The founding 20 members made their own pledges here 800 years ago. So that's a very long time. So we have to it that this throne sits in the center of the world. Nobody has ever sat on it because its vacancy symbolizes peace in the world. Not to mention, the guy ends up explaining like those with highest authority in this world, those at the helm of the celestial dragons, the 5 elders, there is no single king of this world. So there's someone that has higher authority, surprisingly, and that is the king. Like what this guy is trying to say, that things are starting to be very ugly right now, because Steli looks like he wants to sit on that throne so he can become king of the world, and that is not a good thing. But in the simple words of the conversation that the guy was telling King Steli about making a pledge and talking about the throne is whoever sits on that throne is usually higher than the celestial dragons, higher than the 5 elders too. So there's not a single king in this world as well. And of course, there's one scene that I kind of expected to see happen is Shirahoshi being kidnapped or being strangled by freaking St. Charles's freaking slave to take in as a pet. Vivi, Rebecca, and everyone else are like, what the hell are you even doing? And of course, St. Carlos, oh my gosh, I do not know why I even see him again. Let's not forget St. Carlos is the freaking punk that shot Hotchan, and Luffy sent him back to the next world. And guarantee just seeing him again in last chapter, just his silhouette and behavior, and now he's back here causing more trouble, trying to get Shirahoshi, and now he's trying to take it for his own. And we have to it that Leo and some of her friends and another friend was trying to stop him, but apparently that does not work because CP0 comes in, which involves Lucci, Stussy, which apparently was at Big Mom's tea party, and Kaku. I'm like, what's Kaku doing there? I'm really shocked. So many people have been speculating that CP0 might be the former top CP9 members, which I go I really hope that's not the case, because is now really making me a little upset. So aside from that, anyways, CP0 are defending the Celestial Dragons and says you should introduce yourselves before we introduce ourselves to you. Of course, Kaku goes like putting a stop to this now would save many countries. Even the children of the world would know not to defy the Celestial Dragons. We have too that Rob Lucci is being more scumbag by saying the Celestial Dragons are the ones who created this world. To put it simply, the kings of the lower world. It's natural for God to get anything they desire. I'm thinking in my mind, yeah, I think I really want to rip these guys apart right now. No wonder Sabo says that Celestial Dragons are a target because of how they behave. Even right now, VV goes like it's impossible to even reason with these kinds of people. And we have to it that like Rob Lucci, who's part of CP0, says, yeah, it's unnecessary to try to reason with the god anyway. Of course, Vivi tries to say, release Shirahoshi, she's a friend of mine. And we have to it that King Neptune was about to make an attack because, you know what? He goes like, you're taking my daughter, not gonna happen. I'm gonna attack you right now because you know what? I'm gonna crush you guys, return to sea, and I don't care about the surface world. But we have to it that Rebecca tried to tell Neptune, no, Neptune, you shouldn't, because these guys aren't even humans anymore. And we have to it that like Neptune apologizes to Otohime in his mind, and right before he was gonna make a strike, Shirahoshi tries to stop him with words, etc. And he was about to clash against Lucci, which may cost him his life because let's not forget, Lucci is a very strong opponent, and Luffy struggled against him really badly, etc. And now that he's part of CP0, I'm pretty sure he's not to be undermined to this point at present time. But we have to it that someone goes like, what the hell are you doing? And he ends up hitting Carlos with the mace. And we see to it that like they realize it's a Celestial Dragon that hit another Celestial Dragon. And he goes like, I'm very sorry about this. As a Celestial Dragon, I am so embarrassed about having to see this, you know? And we have to it that he goes like, hey, look, guys, forgive me. Forgive me. This idiot bringing terror and socializing to the plaza, forgive me. And we have to it that he goes like, you may have forgotten me, Neptune, but you know what? I'm indebted to the Ryugu Kingdom. And I've been waiting for you for a long time for your arrival here. And surprisingly enough, it was actually a freaking like a Celestial Dragon named Josgard or something. That Celestial Dragon that Otohime actually saved or something. He's even reformed for the better he's even reformed much better than before. He therefore says like, your queen Otohime, who's now dead, she made me human, and I want to help you out as much as I can. So Mosgard, or however you pronounce his name, Don Quixote Josgard, however, he ends up having to like hit Carlos, which is a very good thing. That hit he did with the mace reminds me so much that when Luffy punched like Carlos back in the freaking like Sabaody or something, if I remember correctly. And aside from that, I'm glad Mosgard actually had a reforming heart because like we all know Celestial Dragons are real terrifying scumbags. Aside from that though, we have to it that in the castle room of authority, we have to it they go like, what do you need to talk about? And they go like, for you to come all the way right here, you understand we're in the middle of a revere, right? A man like you is not suitable to be involved with politics of the world. And we have to that they go like, we only made time to talk to you because it's you. And he goes like, yes, I give you my thanks. And they go like, we'll hear you out, okay? Soldiers exit the room. And we have to it that this person is actually Shanks talking to them by saying, I want to talk about a certain pirate. And I go like, what is Shanks doing with the Gorosei? I'm even surprised that the Gorosei is even want to talk to Shanks right now. So yeah, like I said, this chapter in One Piece revealed a lot of crazy stuff. Like the meeting with Big Mom and Kaido, and Big Mom saying, you owe me a debt. How about we get along back in the old days, you know? I'm the one that's going to take Straw Hat's head, okay? And we have to it that, of course, like Barcelona wants to take action, of course, after the Marines wiretap the communications. However, Sakazuki, who's level-headed now, says like now's not the time to cause any trouble because like we don't know how strong Wano Country is. And we had to it that the conversation with Garp about his grandson, not to mention there's a reason why I think Garp was called the hero of the Marines, etc. But we had to it that something involving the rocks. As I said in my video, in the middle of my video, like these rocks are known to be terrifying because before Roger came about or something, it was their era when Roger was not around. And it was like 40 years ago. Of course, Garp says the past is the past though. But we have to it that Hina tells Garp, like, these guys have been growing very strong even though they lost their captain. And I'm pretty concerned about that. Even Garp says, like, it'd be a very bad threat right now if they made a comeback. But it is beyond our imaginations to even do anything. So, like I said, the rocks right there that was around before Roger came about, as I said, they're very threatening. So we will have to see what they are, but eventually I hope Oda shows it. Aside from that, the empty throne thing that the guy was telling Steri about, no one actually sat on that throne, etc., and it represents peace in the world. And it's the highest authority. It's the highest authority in this world because it's higher than the Celestial Dragons and higher in the Gorosei. Even Steli wants to sit on that throne, and looking at it, he's going to cause some trouble. And we had to it, of course, the thing with Shirahoshi. St. Carlos tried to take it for his own, but some people are trying to stop him from doing so, but CP0 comes about, which is Rob, Lucci, and Kaku. And we had to the King Neptune was about to cause some chaos, but we had to it that another Celestial Dragon, which is Don Quixote Mosgard, or Josgard, however you want to say it, was actually a reformed Celestial Dragon thanks to Otohime. And I'm glad about that because he stopped St. Carlos from doing something stupid, and I'm glad he hits him in the face with the mace, dude, because I'm pretty sure a Celestial Dragon against a Celestial Dragon, this should not be a problem, but themselves. And we had to it, of course, the chapter ends off with Shanks talking to the Five Elders. Yeah, this chapter was really crazy. The conversation with the Big Mom and Kaido, to Garp's conversation about the rocks, which apparently is terrifying, which I hope we get to see, and of course the Shirahoshi scene, and guess what? The Gorosei talking to Shanks. You gotta be kidding me. I don't know how Shanks managed to get there, but if he managed to sneak past all those guards or even have a connection with the Gorosei to even talk to them, this guy's not something you don't want to mess with. Because even though he may be a Yonko, let's not forget how strong Shanks is. Not to mention, he's talking to the Gorosei right now. Yeah, dude, this chapter was really tense. I don't know what's really bound to happen, but I'm pretty sure the meeting between the Gorosei, the Revier, and Shanks, etc., which I think Gorosei is going to talk to Shanks privately, this might be a very tense one. And Shanks wants to talk about a certain pirate. I don't know who that pirate is, but if it's Luffy, guarantee it's not going to be a very light conversation. So we'll have to see, alright? Anyways, like I said, chapter was crazy. Don't know what's bound to happen, but we're going to have to find out. So until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. So I'm Alpha Zero, people. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot!